Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Alatra TV Africa. Today we continue our discussion on creative society and are glad to find out the vision of our special guest. But before the introduction, I would like to remind our viewers that the Creative Society project is a unique global project of humankind. Please visit alatraunites.com website to find more information about it.
Hello, dear viewers. Thanks for joining us today. And with a great pleasure, I would like to introduce to you our today's guest. And it is Mr. Servet Bytyqi. And he is a translator, writer, poet, and cultural activist from Albania. He's a math teacher in the past. And today, Mr. Servet he has worked as a translator in Albanian. He owns a small business and he has written two books, one on Albanian poetry and another one is an anthology of the best authors of English literature. And today Mr. Servet lives in London and he takes part in cultural events and activities there. Dear Mr. Servet, welcome.
Thank you for good evening. Thank you for invitation. And I'm glad to meet you, Olga. And with Olga Jeffrey, we met previously, yeah? And we've been in contact since. So it's interesting, your platform like Creative Society, which I think is something good for humankind. And it develops spiritually, it develops and helps all the aspects of life, I'd say. And that's why I see this interesting.
Yes, it is indeed so much interesting. And again, we encourage all of our viewers to go to the website alatraunites.com and please check this amazing project. And my first question to you, dear Mr. Bytyqi, would be, please share with us what you love the most in what you do and what inspires you.
Yes, thank you very much for your introduction of me to the viewers of Alatra Unites and the Creative Society. So your question is very, very kind to be the way I see it and I take it. Is writing is a passion. You can't write if you don't read. Since in my childhood, my passion was reading a lot, nonstop. And I haven't collected my memories about readings, but one day maybe I can put it in writings and all the memories from the past. But I don't know, life is interesting. And you say, if I choose, I never chosen what to do, but that this has come as a purity, love, about writing and about reflecting what it is in my soul, in my consciousness, and in my whole being, like to reflect it to the other people. This is kind of duty, is kind of mission, and kind of how can I put it? I don't know how to choose the word, but for kindness, I don't do it for business, I don't do it for earnings, I just write it and share it with people, and if I see people loving it, and I'm encouraged more and more to be writing and to contribute on it. So first of all, I did write my own book, which is memories of me. I put in there the phenomena which is happening in our society nowadays, in my country's history, in my country's developments of the last century, for example, which we are witnesses now for some events, and how I have tried to reflect the way I saw it and the impact they have in society, and trying to put it in in a fine way, not to impose to others, like violate and giving message, but message can be taken. So I love really poetry. I love so much. Then, after my book was published in 2016, I tried. First of all, I think I've translated Saadi, of the great poet of Persia, Saadi, about humankind, and this is amazing poetry, which is written in New York Hall, and so his verses. So I did show interest, and I did translate that. Then I tried and translated a short piece from Omar Khayyam, then Shakespeare, Byron, Johann Wolfgang Goethe. I've translated from Victor Hugo. I've translated Lord Byron, the Irish poets, great Irish poets, which are William Butler Yeats and all the romantics, and they show a wide range of countries and time and centuries where the humankind and literacy has developed. Actually, I can say with pleasure, I've translated 2 of the great poets of Russia. Only few poetries, though, from Sergei Yesenin and from Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin. From Pushkin, I think I've translated 4 of them, but I never put in a book. The next book is going to be included, the anthology of him, and other great poets of Europe, and like Mihai Eminescu and Goethe of Germany. So, and Yesenin, as I say. So I got something in manuscript which in coming years will be published. So that's how I see. Is more Puritanism and love. So that's what humanity now is lacking. People are getting more and more manipulated and more coming in a stream of their life. They I don't know. I think we have lost a bit. Humanity has lost a bit of its own pure soul, and we should recover. I see your platform and our platform, I can see as a way to bring back to earth and sky and purity. That's how I see.
Thank you so much for your answer. And I had a question, and you almost answered my question, my next question. So, could you share with us, like, you used to be a math teacher in your past, but then you chosen this path of translating famous, very well-known worldwide authors, and why have you chosen this path, and what important messages you want to share with people through your work? Like, there is lots of different poetry, right? Even these authors, they wrote many like verbs and everything, but you chosen some particular ones to translate, right?
Yeah, it's a very good question, actually. First of all, I haven't chosen to be from mathematician to be a poet. It just came naturally. And I have moved in Europe. I was in Greece. I learned that language. In Greece, I stayed for 2 years there. Then I moved here. And message I can bring. There is a lot of, is very interesting, very so deep and wide is the world of poetry. Let's say Robert Burns. Robert Burns is one of my favorite authors, which I have translated. He is an amazing poet with a deep impact in society. Is much celebrated. Is a curiosity. Like, he got statues all over the world. Is the 3rd non-religious figure to have such monuments all over the world. Over 60 around 60 something. After Queen Victoria and Christopher Columbus, he's the third in the world. He's more celebrated than even Shakespeare. He's more celebrated than Omar Khayyam. He's more celebrated than any other one. In every New Year's Eve, his songs are sung in the parties, in the good events, in when people part, for example, for when people die, his songs are being sung, and in celebrations when people leave the youth days and become bachelors and brides, so they say bye-bye to the free world, and now in marriage they celebrate with him. Even in all over the world, revolutionaries have sung their songs. For example, My Heart in the Highlands is sung by Maoist fighters in the war. Before they went to war, they did bring this to. So, I mean, is in it not to see the political side. We're not interested in that, but we can see as an impact by Robert Burns or Byron, for example. Lord Byron traveled. He was a revolutionary as well, and he died 1824 fighting for freedom of Greece. And he traveled throughout Europe. He went to Portugal. He went to Italy. He went to Albania. He was amazed by the hospitality of Albanian people. Albanians didn't want any payment from him. They didn't accept as a matter of pride. So he was like amazed by that. And every single country got its own characteristic, and he had portrayed them. So he brought the best values to share in the wide range of people, because people of this world are brothers in between them. Only there is some division, artificial division, imposed on us, I think, which we should break those burdens, and we should live together in a peaceful world. That's the message. That doesn't matter where they come from, doesn't matter the background, doesn't matter the profession they have, the age, or the orientation. This has to be as a living for a good world. People should communicate in between them, should in a good manners and in trust and in love and prosperity, in a prospect of sharing good values to each other. For example, to being kind to each other, to be nice to each other, and I don't know how to express it, but I think, I don't know if I was good in my. Did I answer the question you asked, or I'm not sure.
As I understood, the poets and writers that touched your soul, you wanted to pass their message to the other people, and so they feel what you feel. What's important for you, you wanted to pass
yes.
further.
Yes.
So that's what I understood from your answer.
Yes.
And is your poetry is about the same values as these poets and writers? What's your poetry?
Yes, and sorry, and another, if you allow me a few more, and building bridges in between countries. If I'm translating, for example, Pushkin into my own language, there is many admirers of Pushkin in my country, which they love because they used to learn Russian at school, and beg your pardon. And they just love it. Or, for example, if I'm translating Lord Byron, it's the same. As I said, is a message from one country to another country. Is a bridge. I think I'm building a bridge in between nations by translating each other's, and that's how it is. For example, if I translate Mary Morrison, which is a love poetry from Robert Burns, and people love it, love to just to mention Mary Morrison. They would love to see Scotland. They would love to see the places where are mentioned in there in another poetry, for example, and brings curiosity, brings admiration, and obviously bring cultural links in between nations. That's how I see. That's how I see as a mission. Is more than anything else, I'd say.
Thank you so much. It's I really loved you mentioning that you are building bridges, because today too many people are so focused on building borders and fences on borders, and that's why like building bridges is really a crucial task. And it so much resonates with the message of the creative society. And nowadays people from all countries are conducting the biggest social poll in the history of mankind to find out what is this common goal that can unite us as a humanity. And so please now I will ask you, can you share your understanding? How do you envisage a creative society, the one where every person can live comfortably, safely, securely, and where there are all conditions created for everyone to have this fulfilled life? So what is a creative society for you, dear Mr. Servet?
Creative society is something which are developing on it, to be 100% honest. And I'm trying to understand every day. The message is very clear to me. The message is creative society got the mission of humanity and spiritualism, bringing people together in a new world. In this new world, which is changing so fast every day, is changing before our hands. And the mission is to create a better future for our kids. So to be prepared for future life and to how it can be in very soon. I mean, is the pandemic, which happened in 2 years, has caused so much, and people are reflecting. And obviously, I think people deserve more than what we are having now. Definitely, because I don't know. There is a lot of division. There is a lot of uncertainty for tomorrow. Is going to be a bright day or is going to be bleak? Is going to be how can I put it? So, creative society I found interesting in creating a more peaceful world. And I see very good people which participate on it and give their energy and their time and their efforts to create this future, and to give their energy for in good purpose. I mean, and as I say, I'm developing myself on it. I'm not able to answer much, but certainly I can answer the good intentions and good signals from creative society.
Thank you so much. And I like your idea of creative society, your model, the way you see it. And I agree with you. And first of all, we have to accept it inside ourselves,
yes,
to see it outside after.
Yeah. That's very good point.
Thank you so much for sharing again your view. And now it would be very interesting to talk about 8 foundations. And I know you're familiar with 8 foundations of creative society. And these 8 foundations are the pillars of achieving a creative society. And I would like to offer us to watch a short video from the conference, how these foundations were formed.
The biggest social polling in our entire history of civilization has been conducted during the last 10 years by people around the world. 180 countries, millions of people of different social statuses, denominations, nationalities, talk about the society in which they want to live in. And this is a creative society. Based on the answers of the people from around the world, 8 foundations of creative society were established. A society where all people can live in happiness, peace, and prosperity. This is that very society that our prophets bequeathed to us. All prophets talked about the value of life, freedom, honesty, common human values, equality before God, mutual respect, and unification of people, about love for each other. They talked about the common truth and about the world which we can create. The prophets said, there will be a time when we're able to build a creative society. We are honored to live in the time which the prophets talked about, when everyone is chosen.
For this beautiful video about 8 foundations. And could you please share with us your opinion about 8 foundations and which one of them touched your heart, and which one you would like to talk about?
Probably humanity, as you said. These are members of a whole in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of a human you cannot retain.
Wow, so this is like a poetic form of the first foundation. I know, of course, from the name of our entire movement, maybe we'll ask you to go ahead and write the poetic form of the all 8 foundations, and it will be such a great contribution for our movement. It will be like a present for us.
Oh, I'm gonna pass it to you. This is written in a hall in New York, in UN hall. This expression from Saadi, when the United Nations was created in after the Second World War, and I think I don't know the time when it's put there, but it is there. That's my first poetry I've translated into Albanian, and it's interesting how this is as a human life and human interaction. That's very important to be human. There is a expression in Albanian: whatever it happens, you have to be human. One of my great poets I admire the most, and he has written, whatever situation, you have to remain human. This is a very simple word, but it expresses a huge complexity and huge in its own simplicity, if you get what I mean. So
yes, they used to say that the genius are the simplest thing. The simplest things are genius.
Yes, simplicity is very, very is great. So the simpler you are, we know from mythology, we had in religion, like a kind of religion, in Prometheus stole the fire from God, and he shared it with people. That's a very, very strong message for the humanity across the world. You take it from the gods and give it to the ordinary people is just amazing. And how he survived, how he became so powerful. Anytime he was touching earth. Earth in mythology is the mother of Prometheus. And he took power from touching the earth. So in other words, it means being simpler, being just human.
1. Human life. Human life is the highest value. Life of any human has to be protected as one's own. The goal of society is to ensure and guarantee the value of each human's life. There is not, and never can there be, anything else more valuable than a human's life. If one human is valuable, then all people are valuable.
Do you think the implementation of 8 foundations actually can eliminate violence, conflicts in society?
Depending on the people, how people can perceive it.
Because if we implement it, if it's already like accepted by society, do you think there still be violence if we value human life as like the main value?
That would be ideal. I don't know how this can be prevailed and how it can be perceived by the people. But if people take it and people reflect on it, obviously, if not 100%, is going to make the world a better place to live for everyone. And we've seen disasters. We've seen this year disasters. We've seen from nature, and it's kind of punishment, or I don't know. People take it as a punishment, but there's some things really strange happening and so fast. Climate changing, and is very, very touching when you deep think of it. How, why is happening, how scary is that, or at the same time, how people are coping with it.
Thanks for mentioning that. And, on the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement, like the Creative Society is the main project because it is the project that is going to unite the entire human family all together. But on July 21st, we had a conference. I would like to say a few words about it because it's so deeply resonates with what you've been talking about this crisis that affects our humanity like so much. And this was the conference, Global Crisis. This already affects everyone on July 21st this year. And our viewers may find this conference on our YouTube, on the website of ALLATRA TV, of ALLATRA Unites. And this conference raised so many important questions about the crisis, the climate crisis, environmental crisis, digital unemployment that is going to touch people because of the development of artificial intelligence, and this complex crisis that really affects not just one country. It doesn't affect developed or developing countries, maybe to different extent, but it really touches everyone today. And unless we unite all together as one human family, we cannot cope with this global crisis, because global situation, global problem demands global action. It demands global unity of all people, like all together sitting as one family and deciding what is this format that we want to live in, and how are we gonna change our society so that we all can survive. And so my question to you now, Mr. Servet, would be, how do you see the creative society as the solution to the global crisis that is affecting our humanity at really different spheres?
This is very critical. And I don't know if I'm able to, in a position to answer this, if I'm 100%, but I can see hope in I can see hope in the way we perceive it. Like creative society got so many people around it, which are qualified professionals all over the world. They are gathered in finance, in economy, in all parts of life, and got what is more important. They got the will to do good in the name of humanity and in the name of what many people in administration are guided to ignore probably sometimes. And our people, I think, they got the will and they got a strong message and mission to make things happen, make things change in the best way they can. So that's where is the difference, I think, from what we've seen so far. And I can see governments declining in their mission or failing in their mission to bring what they promise. We can see now around the world there is promises before elections coming, and soon they got their position and is less interest addressing the issues, what's happening in the world now. And this is a fact which people are worried about. Why so many problems is like a balloon. The world is becoming like a balloon which can't take more and is ready for explosion. So it has to be handled in peaceful way. And how we handle in peaceful way, like as we said, love in between people, commitment, and giving the energy.
Thank you for mentioning that, before we see the full picture, the global picture, we don't really understand the seriousness of the situation. We see that, there's floods somewhere. Oh, it's okay. Well, it happens. It was before, but before we see the global picture, we can't even think of how serious it is. And, let us see the short video about the conference, what was really it about, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Modern civilization has entered the stage of instability and global crisis.
The future has already arrived. In the field of artificial intelligence, I really understand that today we see tremendous opportunities and possibilities.
We will have human-level intelligence in terms of problem solving, and that we could have that pretty soon.
And in the consumer society we live in today, it will leave us jobless.
Hello, you are fired.
Every owner of some corporation will create a number of machines, fill it with artificial intelligence, so a human being will simply become out of demand in this chain. Millions of people around the world have already become climate refugees. The events are developing at a shocking speed. The force of cataclysms is growing in progression. Their frequency is increasing every day.
What you can see here is in red are the amount of this particular characteristic of the planet, that is left. And we can see that in many cases, we have lost more than 60, 50, 60, 70% of this particular ecosystem or species.
We're eating our planet. Maybe it's time we realize our responsibility and solve our problems together.
Because sudden large-scale natural disasters occur on the planet on a daily basis. And there are fewer and fewer safe places.
Soon everyone will be hungry, barefoot, naked. Because of consumerism, we are the generation that will see it through. Either we can stand up to it, or it will end with us.
180 countries on the platform of ALLATRA International Public Movement.
It is broadcast live on thousands of YouTube and other streaming channels. Moreover, thanks to volunteers from around the world who understand the importance of this event, the conference is simultaneously translated into 72 languages.
The main value in a creative society is human life, your life, the life of your children, your loved ones.
Only together can we find solutions. And we all want peace and happiness. And together, we can create this world.
Thank you so much. And today we live in consumer format of society, and in these times, the life of a person is underestimated. But to build such a world where all people are equal and human life is the highest value, it is important to open the true human potential of every person and to be united by one goal. Could you please share with us what we should do that every person understands the value of their own life and will value people around?
It's coming from, as you mentioned earlier on, you have to feel it inside your soul and your whole being. So has to be with consciousness, to be awake for what's happening, to be informed what's happening, how it's happening. Nowadays there's a lot of information, but we have to be like Maxim Gorky says, you read books, but you have to learn for yourself, to think for yourself. You have to come and to extinguish, what is more valued, because there is a lot of division right now. There is a lot of division, and this comes from the information or disinformation. How can I put it? And to become that, consciousness makes a very, very big impact. To trust something, you have to know what it is. Then comes trust, then comes love. And this is a very, very important message, because we've seen the events there, crisis. We've seen the disaster, natural disasters. We've seen the mass immigration of people, which is very, very touching and very much to worry. And people are just abandoning their own lands from third countries or from I don't know. It's not just those countries in crisis. They import their crisis in developed countries, and the whole world is running towards crisis, which needs very quick solutions. Otherwise, it gets out of hands. And the only way is just to think to address yourself. I mean, everyone should address its own being, its own self, and to find the way to accept what is happening and to address it, how to solve it. If I'm correct in my expression, I don't know. And that's how I can. I think a platform, Creative Society, got its own people which are ready to take things on their own hands, and so it is good. It is hope for all humankind, and let's hope we're gonna see results of our try and our energy we put in the efforts, and it's amazing. Like, I don't know. It seems, I don't want to say, but it seems like last hope to achieve things. And we should react soon. We should wake. Somehow we have fallen drunk or fallen asleep in front of us, happening such disasters, which needs to be addressed, needs to be taken into consideration, and to I don't know, find a solution.
Yeah. Thanks so much. And it's really so important, like for us all to find this solution is to first accept our responsibility responsibility of each of us and to start acting, because, in front of a disaster, of climatic disaster, the climate change shows that we can lose everything in just a second.
Yeah.
And where you'll take all of your possessions, all of your money, all of your any material stuff that you've earned for all of your life, we have come with nothing to this world, and eventually we'll really go away also with nothing when we die. And now we would like to show you a short cartoon from the it was shown at the conference Creative Society United We Can. And now we'll ask our technical support to put this cartoon, and then we'll discuss it.
Okay.
Aliens came to Earth. At first they flew around it, saw everything, and then decided to talk to the people on Earth. They asked, "Why do you have so much garbage and garbage cans?" "Well, this is because we don't have enough money to build waste processing plants." "But why do you have so many hungry and homeless people?" "Well, this is because we don't have enough money to feed them and build houses for them." "But why are you constantly at war with each other?" "This is because we don't have enough money and we're trying to take it away from others." The aliens scratched their heads and said, "We fly around galaxies, have explored many worlds and planets, but have never met such a rare and, as it turns out, such a very necessary resource as money. Could you show us what it looks like and show where you get it in space? Then we will try to get it, bring you more of this money, and help you establish harmony on your planet." "We don't fly anywhere to get money," the Earthlings answer. "We print it ourselves." "Yourselves?" said the aliens. "Yes." After this answer, Earthlings were deleted from the list of intelligent beings.
Yeah, thanks so much, our dear technical support. Like each time I watch this cartoon, I just love it so much because it's really so much about our current society, and it's really about the thing we should really change. And dear Mr. Servet, do you have any comments on this cartoon? What you have seen?
This cartoon sadly is talking the what is happening now exactly. The eagerness of people for power, for money, for fame. This is not going. It doesn't send you too far, because that's the earth. That's what God has given to us to govern ourselves. Is not easy, and I think we are guided by money, as it shows in there, is becoming the main, and it has been, but without money you can't live, and is unfortunately, and is bringing so many disasters around, and bringing wars, bringing unemployment, bringing diseases, bringing poverty to people, to countries, to different parts of the world which are suffering, and suffering from resources. Even rich countries now, they don't have good living standards. They are rich by nature. They got seas. They got rich resources, and they got all what God has given, but they don't have the money. That's becoming very, very, very big worry, big issue. So let's hope one day this world we'll see changes, and we'll see some hope, and we'll see a better future for our kids. And that's the life to continue it should have, because we know many civilizations must have probably have gone extinguished from previous ages. Like we have dinosaurs, which are a sign of life, or got some technologies which we have seen, which got questions which aren't answered by best specialists or best engineers of nowadays. How this is built, for example, and how there's many questions. Definitely, the world was developed, probably more developed than the society we live in now. And this development's gone extinguished in one day. How they gone is a mystery. And we don't want this to happen in front of us. So that's how I call it worry, and how I call it need quick action. That's how I see, without falling in a pessimism, but because the nature of humankind is positiveness and energy and hope. So let's hope we're going to prevail. That's how I can put it.
Yes, thank you. And we're not only hoping, we're actually acting towards it. And this is the main and the most important thing.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to mention that recently I saw the statistics. We actually raised this topic in one of the conferences, United We Can, Creative Society United We Can, one of the conferences we had. And do you know that the countries we consider the most developed, the richest country of the world, they have the biggest external debt, the country debt, and all this debt is put on people's shoulders. So when we start to study, it's really, it's such an illusion that money can actually make people happy or create. Of course, money do create opportunities, but money is also responsibility. And like I said, the richest country has the biggest external debt, and this is awful because people have bigger taxes, and they pay for this. It's on their shoulders. So, of course, I see the importance of creative society, and we all see how important it is to switch the vector of our development from consumeristic one to the creative one, and start actually acting towards the better future, because it's our children will be living in society which we leave for them. What society we're going to leave to them? It's very important, and it's heartbreaking when we see what's happening right now. And so, I understand that you also support creative society initiative, and you're with us on that. And in your opinion, would you like to discuss these topics with your friends? Would you like what action? Do you think is important to do? Do you think it's important to talk to other people, to tell them about creative society?
Yes, definitely.
To find out their vision.
I'd be happy my friends and my network of people, which I liaise every day, they should realize what we're talking about and should understand what's the situation is, and be aware of the fact. Most of people, they have seen it, but they don't know because they are divided. We are divided. We live in a society which is divided so very much, but is a very, very good sign of creative society taking actions. And obviously, I'd be more than happy to share with my friends and my people, to share these views, which are views which gonna affect every single person on earth. Even the rich people, they aren't aware how much they need this creative society, because this got a mission not only as a fact which is happening, but spiritually they got long-term effect on everyone. If you see the 8 rules of humankind and everything, as you put it there, I can't recall it all of them, but spiritually they affect everyone, and support everyone is for everyone benefit. So let's hope the conference is on the 4th of December, yeah? Let's hope
exactly.
We are in a better position to discuss, to talk about it, and to give our contribution in there, which is not going to be stopped here. So we look forward to it.
Yes, definitely. And you mentioned about the importance of raising awareness and sharing this information. And talking about sharing, on our platform, we are also testing the theory of 6 handshakes. And it says that today, thanks to social media, thanks to all of our globalization, there's no more than 6 handshakes between any two people on our planet. And we would like to ask you if you may name someone, or maybe you can think about the name of a person and tell us later, as you are comfortable. We are not pushing you to invite a next person for such a broadcast, the person who would love the project, the Creative Society, and also would love to share this information. If you'd like, please tell us now. If not, please, we'll wait.
I don't have a name right now, but in future we'll see.
Yes, thank you. And what would you like to wish to our viewers? What is your message to the humanity?
To our viewers, first of all, to have a good autumn. We just entered the autumn, and I'm very much connected to the nature. And let's hope they have prosperity in their homes. They have love, and they have harmony, which can lead to all sources of well-being. And let's hope we're gonna overpass this pandemic affected in over 2 years that everyone must have been affected by this, and many people lost their loved ones, and the world is suffering. So let's hope we're gonna pass together this kind of disaster which is happening in front of us. And I'm going to bring the message that we are united, we are near to each other, and we feel for each other, which is very important. And obviously togetherness bring success and bring people to prevail and to become even stronger and more prosperous, and to live in a better society. That's how I could express it, and wishing everyone my best. And thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and which is good for everyone indeed. So it's good for awareness, it's good for connection, for socially, for knowing, and for the network is very good. And for me, it's an honor to be known and to be in broadcast in your countries or wherever, or over the world are watching here. And not many platforms can give this, but aside from this is the mission which brings us in here. Wishing everyone the best. And look forward to the 4th of December, which we're going to be in a better position.
Yes, thank you so much.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much. Yes, this will be an amazing conference on 4th of December that will reveal the truth about what's happening with the climate in particular, and other issues also will be raised. And today, like never before, like you mentioned also, everyone is affected by climate change. And like never before, creative society is the like main question in front of humanity. And, I want to invite everyone to participate in the project, to join the project. And I'd like to say a couple of words how people can join the project. First of all, you can go to the ALLATRA Unites website, click the join button if you see on top right corner. When you press join button, there is a quick short menu appears, and you can choose the way you would like to participate, and join millions of people who also strive to make a global change. As this change is possible only if we unite, if we humanity unites. Only together, when we focus on this main goal we put in front of ourselves to build a better society, only then we can do it. And because our attention and our focus is the really strong power, and we can put it for something really positive and creative. And it's very important to press the button because it shows how many people support this idea. And the more people support this idea, the quicker we'll be able to change the format of our society today. And thank you so much for this beautiful conversation. It was a lovely conversation with you, and I enjoyed it so much. And I'm sure our viewers enjoyed it too. And thank you for everyone who was watching this interview. Please comment. You can leave a comment. You can find allatraunites.com website at the description to this interview.
Olga, thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Olga. Thank you too.
Thanks, Olga. Thanks, Mr. Servet.
Have a lovely evening.
Yeah, thanks. And please, we encourage our viewers, you may wait till the end to listen a very inspiring song.
Thank you.
See you again on ALLATRA TV Africa. Thanks.
Yeah. See you again. Cheers.
Once the earth used to be the blooming garden, but today we see we nearly killed it, but it's our common planet. Isn't it time to come back to parity? We are humanity. What is technology leading us to? Robotization in a consumer society will lead us to workless men on wild streets. What are we here for? Our planet can't cope anymore, and today we are at the edge, feeding a greediness which never ends. What are we here for? To destroy or to create a better world? They've been separating us for a long time. It's time to stop and see humanity cry.
We've come to the edge of the abyss. Because of our actions, the earth is in disease. And this is the result of dividing the planet. We burn it and kill it, but she's keeping it silent. The patience of Mother Earth is coming to the end. We need to stop it. We have to understand. Nature can't cope with this anger and greediness. That's all because of disunity and weakness. We have been divided by so many religions, enough surrounding us with borders and regions. For centuries we have been enslaved, but only in unity we all can be saved. Today we have to say stop, and from this let's get up. New era can filled with love and connection, freedom for all without disaffection.
We are humanity. What is technology leading us to? Robotization in a consumer society will lead us to workless men on wild streets. What are we here for? Our planet can't cope anymore. And today we are at the edge, feeding the greediness which never ends. What are we here for? To destroy or to create a better world? They've been separating us for a long time. It's time to stop and see humanity cry.
The only way for us to stay alive is a creative society. If our God is one, then why are we separated? Why are we all so frustrated? Didn't He tell through the prophets, be brothers? And didn't the last prophet say, Allah is one?
Didn't Jesus say, you the Lord are one? You created the sky, the earth, and everything on it.
وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم.